Welcome to Therapy Facts with Dr. Jenn. We're talking today about the seventh point from the Katt Williams Shannon Sharpe interview. Point number 7 is sometimes you have to be the villain to speak your truth. So, of course, we know by now the interview has broke the internet. The last time I checked, there were 46 million views on the long form, and people were saying that they had watched the interview 3 or 4 or more times. One person said in the comments that they had watched the interview. They had been watching the interview every single day. Now, I don't know if that means they've watched the long form every single day, but either way, you got the individual views, and then you got the return views. And so by now, everybody knows, or many people know about that interview. And many people know about the response. Yes, the many responses to the interview from the people who were subject to setting the record straight, or were subject to Katt Williams speaking his truth. Now, we have a lot of opinion as humans about people speaking their truth, and we typically expect more from others than we expect from ourselves. And so while we might tell a few white lies or lies of omission or even commission about other people, we expect that other people will tell the exact truth about us and or help us with telling the truth that we believe about ourselves. And so that's often why it can be very concerning when people decide to tell their truth. That is often why people can be considered a villain or villains for telling their truth. And in this case, there are many people who villainize Katt Williams for telling the truth as he saw it. What is interesting is that Katt himself talked about coming on the couch or coming into Club Shay Shay to set the record straight on what people had said about him. And as he said, he came with receipts. And so, like Katt Williams, this is a therapy fact because sometimes you have to be courageous enough to tell your truth. Very often, people come to therapy because people have caused them tons of stress because of creating a narrative that is unfavorable and false about them. This happens a lot at work. This happens a lot in families. This happens a lot in different types of social organizations, including church and other social clubs. And so people are very distressed when false narratives are created about them, especially when they're designed to make them look like a villain, make them look incompetent, or all kinds of other characteristics that they don't aspire to. And so sometimes, as I said in point number 6, you just have to keep your head down and grind until you get the opportunity to tell your truth. But good goodness, when you get the chance to tell your truth, you better go for it and pull out all the stops and make sure you have your receipts. Always have receipts. When you have conversations with people face to face, follow up with an email to say, hey, I just wanted to summarize what we discussed. Let me know if I've missed anything. That has been the most powerful source of receipts for me as a person working for other folks and having to craft the narrative, truthful narratives about myself. No one is immune from having false negatives crafted about them. Having receipts come in very handy when you get the platform. As I said in number 6, very often situations change on a dime, where you go from looking like the bumbling idiot because that's the narrative that somebody has created about you, to the amazing genius because somebody gives the opportunity for a light to be shed upon what is happening to you. And so when you get the opportunity to tell your truth, go for it. Pull out your receipts, be calm, use Katt as your role model. Be calm be direct and be clear so that you use the platform that you're provided in the best way possible. And so sometimes, as I said, it might be at work, it might be in the family, it may be in social organizations, but dare to be the villain, to speak up and tell your truth, especially in situations where you're being bullied and being bullied to the point of despair. Tell your truth. Even if people don't believe you, even if the light is not necessarily shining on you, you don't have necessarily a safe space like Katt Williams had. But tell your truth when the stakes are high for you. And again, if you have your receipts and you have your behavior documented and you have other people's behavior documented, you are going to be more likely to have a positive reception than you think you will. So dare to be the villain when the opportunity comes or when the opportunity is forced for you to tell your truth.